Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And today I will be talking about a movie that failed financially at the box office and should have failed everywhere else, but it didn't. Actually, what am I saying? Of course it did. And of course, this movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes long, which feels longer. Has 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, and with an estimate budget of are you kidding me? This is $125 million, and it made 14. It made 42, 720, 605. Or sorry, it, whatever. It's a bad movie all in general, and if you can't tell by the thumbnail, today I will be reviewing the piece of crap known as Batman and Robin. I was debating on whether I should just put out this video to save all of your sanity, but then I thought to myself, hey, I have to do this, so why the hell not? Yeah, this movie is not the best. When it came out with the first one, it was dark and edgy. When it came out with the second one, it was dark and edgy still, but people didn't like the darkness, and some people actually thought the Penguin was gross. But nowadays, people just praise the movie itself because of what we got afterwards. But people didn't really like the second one, so then they booted it, Tim Burton from the franchise, and they brought in Joel Schumacher to make Batman Forever, which did pretty well in the box office. But then later on, people started to see how much that was terrible and how campy that was. But I mean, I think that kind of did well now that I rewatch it. I don't think my video on that was really fair against it. But yeah, but this one is since everyone likes the Batman Forever movie so much, they decided it'd be a great idea to make a second one, Batman and Robin. And thank God, chronically, these do not take place in the original's timeline, because technically these are off in their own universes apparently now. So whatever. God, this movie felt longer than 2 hours and 5 minutes. But with that out of the way, let's get into Batman and Robin. We start off our movie with our main characters suiting up because they have to go face a new enemy, Mr. Freeze, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And George Clooney, played by Batman, played as George Clooney, or it's the other way around. And George Clooney playing as Batman. I can never get the two. I can never remember the two, mostly because they're both boring characters in this movie. And then we have Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson, which, no. Technically, he's supposed to be Nightwing. It is Nightwing inspired outfit, but apparently he's still Robin. Then we have Alfred again, played by Michael Gough. Thank his soul, he's still came back for this movie, even though he probably knew it was gonna be terrible. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we see that so far it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, there's still bat nipples, and yeah, there's still anything. The movie's not so bad too far. I mean, it's only what? It's only 2 minutes in. Not today. Anyway, we go back and we see that this is when the lines start. It starts out as Dick Grayson, or Robin, complaining about how he wants a car and that chicks dig the car. Obviously referencing Batman Forever and how Batman said that chicks love the car. It is awful still. An awful line. But I digress. They go and then just immediately, why take the hood, or not the hood, why take just the top off of the Batmobile and just make his head like plopping out? Like, if he's moving at like really fast speeds and then he's like on a phone call like oh Alfred, what'd you call for? All you can hear is sorry Alfred, say that again. That's all you hear. But anyway, Batman makes it in. Mr. Freeze, playing as Arnold Schwarzenegger, or I keep saying played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is the worst bit of acting in this movie. Don't get me wrong, I love the guy. He's the Terminator, but just the worst in this movie. He's just making a bunch of ice puns and freezing cops. Batman comes down and says, just, "Hi, Freeze, I'm Batman." Yeah, pretty sure he knew that. Well, you see, Mr. Freeze just makes too many puns in this movie. This isn't a part of his character. Now, we do get a... No, we haven't gotten a live-action Mr. Freeze ever since then. I wonder why. But we did get a nice bit of Mr. Freeze. He's in the Batman the Animated Series, Batman in Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight, and Gotham, and some others, and I think the Batman the Show, but anyway, we see that Mr. Freeze is trying to steal a big diamond so he can power his suit. Robin comes in, and I kid you not, they're on ice skates. I couldn't make this up even if I wanted to. Actually, I probably could. I swear a toddler wrote this movie. And it's like, oh, hey, look at it. But as we keep going, Mr. Freeze shoots a rocket up with him up to space. Batman clamps on, and so does Robin, and like Mr. Freeze start to escape. They blow up the rocket, and they surf down in the air on the doors. Okay, this is we're only maybe a good 10 minutes in. Anyway, we have much bigger things, because thank God throughout this entire movie, or even through this little part, I didn't hear one so far a cowabunga. And then my hopes and dreams were crushed, because then right after I think this Robin just yells cowabunga. Not today. This movie's too bad, but I'm not even gonna do that. This video I probably just got demonetized just as I showed that. But we keep going, and Mr. Freeze freezes Robin in some ice. Batman has to choose whether between two: go to Mr. Freeze and chase him, or let Robin die from frost, just from the cold, I guess. honestly, I would have chose going after Mr. Freeze because I don't want to deal with this whiny. I just don't want to deal with this whiny son of a. But when Batman keeps going after him, it is not. No, I'm joking. He didn't go after him. He freed Robin from his icy captivity, and then Robin is just swell about it. Or was it Batman that was swell about it? I don't care. I didn't even like the movie, and I didn't even pay attention half the time. But yeah, I kind of had to. So, but we find out we meet our new villain, Pamela Isley, who is played by Uma Thurman. Still can't get weird actors' names right, but hey, I digress. She finds out that her lab partner, or her superior, is creating fighting just cage wrestling Mexicans down in the basement, and then creates Bane, who has no lines in this movie whatsoever except for grunting. Actually, he says one thing. But Bane is played by Robert Swinson. Robert Swinson. I don't know, but the guy did die. And he was pretty famous. Who's texting me? No. Sorry about that. But we keep going on. She becomes Poison Ivy, and just yeah. Why is this a thing? We also seem to meet Alicia Silverstone, who was playing Barbara Gordon. Or I'm sorry, I didn't actually catch her last name. Tells you how much forgetful character she is. Am I right or am I right? But we keep going on through this entire movie. This movie is just a garbage movie altogether. I don't even know if I can make it through this video itself. But, they free Bane and Batman and Robin and have to find Bane, or they don't free Bane, they free Mr. Freeze, and Robin has to go fight them. And, well, that really goes well. Well, 'cause then, I'm getting ahead of myself. Apparently, I'm getting way too ahead of myself. Because then apparently they start auctioning off women to go on a date with people. Yes, 'cause that's how you do it. This movie's just so weird. Then they pull out the Bat credit card. Yes, I'm not. I'm gonna be real with you guys for a moment. Okay? So just how you thought I was gonna reveal my face. Well, that didn't know. I was just taking off my mask because it was getting a little hot. But anyway, Batman catches Freeze. He locks Freeze up. Nice little Joker, Riddler, and Penguin, and Two-Face reference from the last movies, thankfully. But, again, who am I to judge? Actually, this is my job to judge. But Poison Ivy and Bane break Mr. Freeze out of prison, which was I was trying to get through to you guys earlier, but hey, I'm dumb. Mr. Freeze needs crystals to keep his suit up, so Poison Ivy goes back to his little place and finds his dying wife there, and then she kills his dying wife. And then blames it on Batman and Robin. So then Mr. Freeze is understandably a little pissed, and goes after them immediately without thinking maybe she could have been lying, but no, I mean, like, he's grieving, so. But, yeah, so any hope for his wife surviving is now gone. So then, and, also, also, apparently this little plot point we didn't really get too far with it, because it just kind of dropped at the end of the movie because of, plot hole devices. But Alfred is suffering from the same illness as Mr. Freeze's wife, and he's slowly dying. And also, Barbara kind of figures out Batman and Robin's true identity. And goes down to the Batcave, and apparently Alfred has already made a suit for her, because eventually he knew that she was going to find out the secret. That's good thinking, Alfred. But then we get the one person who I would have thought in a movie where nipples are all everywhere and suits, that even at least thankfully Joel Schumacher didn't cross a line, because that would have had a lot of angry fans. I mean, everyone was already angry at him for this, but if you had made that crossing a line, my guy. Thankfully, he's still somewhat of a decent person. And then we get to the climax of the movie where Batman and Robin must defeat Mr. Freeze. They do. They also kill Poison Ivy, because, this is what they do. And Mr. Freeze gives them the cure for Nora's illness. And, like, okay, if you had the cure for your wife's illness, why not give it to her a long time ago? It'd save you a lot of trouble, my guy. This movie's so stupid. But, Alfred's saved, Batgirl joins the team, and this movie's finally over. It felt like forever. This video's over. Or, I don't really want to... Okay, fine. This movie was a piece of crap. It didn't deserve to be made, and I wish they kept Tim Burton. He would have made a better movie than this. And I'm sorry for bringing you all here on this day. And goodbye. Also, love y'all all, and see you in the next video. And if you liked what you saw, please hit that bell to keep up with my latest videos. And if you want more, or please subscribe. And if you liked it, hit that like button. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.